Hello, it's unchainedpri today, and welcome to another tier list. And of course, my camera freezes. Anyway, but welcome. So last time, I don't remember what we did a tier list on. I remember I tried to do a tier list last time, but my thing didn't want to work for some unknown reason. I hope I don't have the same issues today. We're gonna hope anyway. Another tier list, and of course, my camera freezes. Anyway. All right, just want to make sure. Okay, so we're gonna be doing a tier list on Disney Channel original movies. Now, if y'all were not Disney Channel connoisseurs back in the day, then I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, doing a tier list on Disney Channel original movies. Now, obviously we have a haven't seen / don't remember or absolute garbage category. But yeah, but in honor of the Hannah Montana 20th anniversary that's happening today, that I can't watch because I'm waiting to watch it with my friends, and I'm unfortunately not gonna meet till Monday. But yeah, but I was like, you know what? I've been seeing a lot of videos about like old Disney Channel movies and stuff like that, so I decided, why not let's make a tier list about it. But anyway, let's go. The Swap. Yeah, have not seen. Twitches 2. Now, I don't know why that's before Twitches 1, but hey, whatever. I'm not the one who compiled these images together. Twitches 2, I don't know, I feel like it's not as memorable as the first one, Like, it does involve, like, them finding their dad, which is pretty interesting. But realistically, though, I don't think it holds as much, like, again, nostalgia as much as the first one. But I will give it a B. It ain't bad. It's just, again, not as memorable as the first one. Lemonade Mouth. Y'all already know. Like, dog. The songs in this movie, bangers. Like, 10 out of 10. Like, y'all already know. Trying hard to fight these tears. I'm crazy worried. Messing with my head, this fear. I'm so sorry. You gotta get it out. I can't take it. That's what being friends about. I wanna cry, I can't deny. Tonight I wanna up and hide and get inside. It isn't right, I gotta live in my life. I know I gotta do it. I know I gotta do it. Gotta turn the world into your dance floor. Determinate. Push it till you can and then demand more. Alright, like, I'm sorry, I just went on the whole song. But, the songs, bangers. And, apparently, they were gonna make a second movie, but they didn't, and it hurts me to this day. Because imagine the amount of bangers we would have gotten. But, this is all based on a book, which I have read. The book is very different than the movie. But anyway, yeah, absolute top tier. Love that movie. The songs are fire. I love watching the movie. It's a good movie to always watch. Jump In. This also has another memorable song. I gotta push it to the limit, cause we're in it too. Anyway, but what's the word, bird? It's a good movie. It's not a movie though that I would personally go back. Like, if you were to give me the option between this or any other movie, like an actual, like, like, let's say it's like, you want to watch Jump In or you want to watch Tangled? I'd be like, well, obviously Tangled is a no-brainer. But, you catch my drift. Like, I would be like, yeah, I'm good. Just make sure the audio is good. If you were to give me the option. Okay. Just have to make sure. But anyway, yeah, Jump In. I think I'll put it in B. Because, again, it's not a bad movie. It's a very interesting movie. But it's just, like, again... And this movie made me want to do double dutch as a kid. Be like, I could do it. And then, you try to do it and you, like, wear yourself out on the jump rope. And you're like, oh, maybe never mind, 'Twas the Night. I don't know. I think that's a newer movie because, no. Cloud 9. I never watched that movie. I just remember it had Dove Cameron. And then it also had the guy who played Bo in Good Luck Charlie. I think this movie was the reason why he left the show, which is, like, absolute... but whatever. Right on Track. Never watched. Sorry, guys. Freaky Friday, but this isn't the I don't think this is the original one, so I'm gonna don't remember. Mom's Dating a Vampire. I never watched this one. Never watched Xenon. Cadet Kelly. Now, I've actually never watched Cadet Kelly. I know it's like a memorable because it has Hilary Duff and the girl who plays Kim Possible. And she also played, I think, I forgot what her name was in the Even Stevens, but like the sister of, Even Steven. Well, what was his name? I don't remember what his name was. I don't remember Even Stevens that well either, to be honest. Girl versus Monster. I did watch this movie. I'll be honest with you though, I didn't really fuck with this movie. I'm gonna put it an F. Like I did not fuck with that movie. I was not a fan. I was like, no. Profit movie, never seen. Stepsister from Planet Weird. I've never seen this movie. I never even heard of this movie till today. Adventures in Babysitting. I've never watched that. I think this was like, I did not mean to do it there. I think this is, what's the word? It was one of those newer Disney Channel movies. Like, I kind of strayed away from Disney Channel. I would say during the Liv and Maddie era. I was like, nah, I'm good. All the good shows are kind of gone. Like, I think Austin and Ally was like the last show I watched on Disney Channel before I was like, alright, I'm out of here, Wendy Wu Homecoming War. I remember I used to love this movie. I used to be like, hell yeah. Brenda Song was like, she was in Disney Channel, bro. She was like in a whole bunch of stuff. I'm gonna put it at A. It was a really good movie. Like, it was so good, y'all. Like, y'all don't understand. I love that movie. It was so good. I should do a rewatch. I gotta plan a day. Bring some friends over and be like, y'all, let's go watch some old Disney Channel movies. Halloween Town, bro. Now, I don't know if to put it in S or A. Because, like, again, it brings so many memories. Would watch this every year for October, Halloween, yada yada, Again, and it just sucks that what they did in the fourth movie. But anyway, I'm gonna put it at an A, because I wouldn't say it's S tier, because, obviously there's some stuff in that movie that makes me cringe to this day, if I were to rewatch it, but it's still a good movie, nonetheless, and I really like that movie. Camp Rock. Now, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I wasn't really into Camp Rock when it first came out. Still am not too much to this day, but what's the word, yeah, no, it was never my cup of tea. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Like, and it was funny too because, obviously back in the day when you're a young child, a young girl specifically, so, is that, what's the word? I was obviously into the Jonas Brothers, and my favorite one was Joe. So, I remember this movie made me not like Demi Lovato because of the fact that her character was into Joe, Shane, in the movie. But yeah, I remember there was this what's the word? Yeah, this movie was the reason why I was not a big fan of what's the word? Of Demi Lovato. And the movie itself is, again, watching it now as an adult, it's very cringe. That infamous part where Alison Stoner's character is like playing on the piano, and then Demi's like, she's really good. That part. But yeah, and I don't know. I didn't really F with the songs in this movie either. Like, there's just one song in the movie, though, that is pretty good, which is like the Hasta La Vista song. But yeah, we're gonna put an F, because I didn't really fuck with the movie. I don't fuck with the movie now. Camp Rock 2 is also pretty funny. Like, in that one scene where, like, they're, like, going to Camp Star and, like, Camp Rock! That. Radio Rebel. Now, I never watched this movie either. Obviously, like the infamous scene with Debbie Ryan. But yeah, I wasn't really a big fan of Debbie Ryan. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know why. Like, I just wasn't a big fan with her. I wasn't a big fan of Jessie either. Like, I watched some of Jessie, but I think I stopped watching after like the second season. But yeah, I wasn't a really big fan of Radio Rebel. I'm not Radio Rebel. Debbie Ryan. I never watched this movie. I have never seen this one. Princess Protection Program. Like, I remember, like, I had a kind of like a, like, I would say a hate-love relationship with this movie because I liked Selena Gomez, but I didn't like Demi Lovato. So I was kind of like, but this movie is actually not that bad. Like, again, as a kid anyway. If you were to watch it now, it is kind of cringe. But, I liked watching this movie. This movie, I would actually go out on my way to rewatch and stuff because I found it pretty fun. I liked this movie. It was pretty good. Tangled, I never watched this. I think it's the thing they do before the show. But yeah, never watched Get a Clue. The Even Stevens movie, I remember watching. You know, hilariously enough, I never really watched the show, but I remember watching this movie. And the movie was it was a very interesting movie. I just remember, I'm gonna put it at D, because I'm like, I don't remember it too well, but I remember the basic plot of it was like, they get like, I think they win a trip or whatever to like some island or whatever, but then they're also like, they're on a prank show or some shit, and like they're purposely like doing stuff in order to make them like have like really bad stuff happen on their vacation. And at one point it involves I think her name was Ren, if I again, Kim Possible here. I think her name was Ren, and I don't remember what his name was, which is really crazy. But yeah, at one point, where like she was with this guy, and then he did something that, like ruins her relationship with the guy or something like that. I don't remember. And they're like going crazy and shit, and she's like trying to kill him and some shit. I just remember that. But yeah, it was a very movie. It was a movie. The Good Luck Charlie, It's Christmas movie. Now I remember this movie, and this was the movie where they announced that the mom was pregnant again, which is pretty funny. But yeah, it was a movie. It again, it's not a movie I went out of my way to watch every Christmas. It's a very interesting movie though. I'm gonna put it at C for Charlie. But yeah, no, it wasn't a movie that I would go out of my way to watch. It was an interesting movie, I will say. Like, out of all the Disney Channel shows to get Disney movies, out of all the Disney Channel shows to get movies, it was a very interesting movie. You know, I feel like this could have been an episode though, to be honest. Like, this didn't have to be a movie. But Genius, yeah, no, I don't. Never saw this movie. Twitches, the original. Now, again, this is obviously going to be above 2. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, you know, the infamous, the beginning scene when, you know, and, you know, the things with the darkness and all that schmiz. And it is such nostalgia. And especially with Tia and Tamara? Yes, Tia and Tamara. But yeah, the nostalgia. And they were, like, one of the, like, you know, the twin actors, you know. You don't get that much nowadays with Disney. That was one of the things that annoyed me about Liv and Maddie, because like why didn't, again, I heard apparently though in a podcast that she did, like Dove Cameron did recently, people were like, oh, she took away this role from twin actors, and apparently she said that no twin actors were auditioning for the role. So, but at the same time, I was like, Disney, y'all couldn't have, like, you know, like, I don't know. Apparently the plan all along was for one person to play 2 people, but it's like, you know, like, But besides that, you know, like this and Zach and Cody, like I really appreciated the fact that they got twin actors, you know. And again, the movies, again, the nostalgia, they have like that one song by I forget her name, but I remember she was in Phil of the Future, like his love interest in the show. Because I remember she used to make music with her sister. And they had like the one song that's like Into the Rush, and hilariously enough is that song that's in the movie that they play is in a Bratz video game that I used to play when I was younger. So I remember that would even more be so like, oh my god, I love this music. It was like a song that's like Into the Rush down. Okay, anyway, but yeah, Twitch is great. Teen Beach Movie. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I did not fuck with Teen Beach Movie either. I would put in garbage, but I know make some people mad. I'll put an F. I don't know, like I don't know, like the songs just like really didn't hit for me. I was not interested in the plot. I watched it just because Ross Lynch was in the movie, but I wasn't a fan. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Like, it really didn't, you know, what's the word? It didn't and I heard the second movie is kind of, like, the ending is stupid in the second movie, from what I've heard. Which is, it's really dumb because of, again, the premise of this movie, but whatever. Anyway, The Ultimate Christmas Present. I never watched this. If my mouse would like to work, that'd be great. Okay. Alright, don't remember. The Sweet Life movie. It was a movie. I feel like they could have done something a little better for a Sweet Life movie. I'm gonna put it at C, I'll be honest with you, because, like, this isn't a movie I like to go out of my way to rewatch, you know, like, it's real, like, it's an interesting premise, but it's not an interesting movie, you know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the premise that they have for the movie is interesting, but it just wasn't. It didn't deliver, at least for me, because again, from what I remember is like, I think Zach ends up ruining something for Cody. So then to make it up to him, there's like this experiment that they're doing, and Cody and Zach is like, "Oh, I'll do this with him to make it up for him for what I did." Blah blah blah. And it turns out like they're trying to like they're using, I forget what it is, but it's something like they're trying to like combine the mind of one twin or some shit. I don't remember, but yeah, it just wasn't like, it's not a movie I'm like, oh yeah, you want to watch the Sweet Life movie? No, like it's not a movie I want to go to my movie to watch. Hounded, I don't. Nope, I don't ever watch that. Starstruck. Now, this was an interesting movie. I actually, the songs of the movie were kind of interesting. They were pretty good. Now, I don't know if I should put it in B or A. I'm gonna put it in A. You know, like, it was such an interesting movie. Like, I liked the whole, this was my first enemies to lovers. No, I'm playing. But it was an interesting movie, and again, the songs were also good. And I kind of liked our main love interest girl. Like, she was very interesting. I liked her whole thing of like, oh yeah, I don't really, like, his music is good, I just don't get the hype about him though. And the fact that they kept running into each other and shit, like, it's a good movie. Like, I'd rewatch it, you know. Like, if you told me, yo, you want to watch Starstruck, I'd be like, hell yeah, let's go. And the guy from I just find it funny because, you know, this is the guy from Sunny with a Chance who plays Chad, and I like how his friend was also one of the actors from Sunny with a Chance. I like that. I like that they did that. They brought them two in together. I liked that. But yeah, The Luck of the Irish. I remember this movie. I don't know. Like, it was the only movie you could really watch for St. Patrick's Day because they don't really make, like, you know, Leprechaun movies or St. Patrick's Day movies either. But yeah, but it was a very interesting movie. You know, I'll put it at a B. It ain't bad. It's just, again, if you were to, I would only want to watch this during like the month of March. You know, I would never want, if you came up to me like in December and were like, you want to watch Luck of the Irish? I'd be like, hell no. But it's a good movie though. It ain't bad. It's pretty funny. You know, like, interestingly enough. But anyway, besides that, I don't really have much more to say about The Luck of the Irish. You're lucky dog. I don't know what that is. Again, Xenon, never watched that. Don't Look Under the Bed, I've never watched this either. Life is Rough. I vaguely remember this movie, but I don't remember it that well. So I'm going to put it in don't remember, because I dead ass don't remember. Never watched this one. Teen Beach Movie 2. Now, again, this is another one where I didn't watch it, because, again, I didn't really like the first one, so I had no interest in watching the first one. But, I mean, the second one, my bad. But I heard, apparently, so what the plot of this movie, at least from what I can recall, is that now the characters from the movie have somehow made it into the real world or whatever, and they're trying, our couple or whatever, like, you know, the two main characters are trying to convince them to go back. Otherwise, like, their whole timeline is gonna get reset or some shit. I don't remember. But then what ends up happening at the end of the movie is, because of the fact that they won't go back to the movie universe, the movie no longer exists, and because of and supposedly the movie that these characters are from is the reason that they met and fell in love or some shit, which I don't think was like the plot of the first movie. I think like they added this in, and because of the fact they wouldn't go back to the movie no longer exists, and then their timeline gets reset or some shit, and then they never met, and that's how it ends. And I'm like, what? Again, I've never watched the movie myself, so I don't. I just remember that was like the gist of it or something like that. But yeah, like, no, that sounds stupid, like, dead ass. But again, I never watched the movie, so I don't know. Horse Sense, I've never watched that. A Ring of Endless Light, I have never seen this either. Go figure, don't remember it. Zombies, I've never watched this movie. I need to though, cause, you know, I don't know if y'all have like seen the memes where like her whole thing, the girl, like basically the plot of the movie is that zombies exist, but like they have like some collars or some shit that makes them obviously like not want to eat people, but they're ostracized by obviously by regular people because, you know, they're like, I don't want to like interact with zombies, you know. So there's like this one day where like they let them go to like the regular school with the regular kids, and this girl, I forgot what her, I think her name was Addison, I don't remember, but like yeah, but she ends up, they end up falling in love or whatever, and her whole plot is like, oh, I have like my hair is actually like white or whatever, so I have to wear a wig so that I'm not ostracized by society, and it's like, what? And it's so funny because like the memes about it where it's like, oh yeah, I won't be accepted because of my hair. I'm like, are you being dead ass right now, girl? These guys, right, like, and they're dealing with like being like ostracized because of the fact that they're zombies, and she's like, oh my god, people will never accept me because of my hair. It's like, what? I just find that so funny, and I really should watch the movie. But yeah, no, I don't know. The 13th year. And I'm putting A. I really liked the 13th year. Like, I used to be watching that movie. I don't know. I feel like we all had a phase back in the day with mermaids, you know? Because I liked the 13th year. I was a really big fan of H2O. Like, it's such an interesting movie. Like, I'm pretty sure, again, if I were to watch it now, I'd probably cringe. But, like, it's such an interesting movie. Like, I really like it. Like, it was so good. Like, I don't know. It's just so interesting, especially the fact that too, like, it's a merman and not a mermaid, you know, like, because usually when we get like a mermaid adaptation, it's always a girl, it's always a mermaid. I find it interesting they made it about a guy, which is, again, it's very interesting, very twisty, you know what I mean? Camp Rock 2, The Final Jam. I also did watch this movie. Again, I don't like Camp Rock, so there you go. I find it funny. I already mentioned it already, but you know that one scene where what's the word? When they go to confront or like the challenge Camp Star, and they do that stupid shit where they're like, Camp Rock, you know, like that. It was so bad. Like, I don't know who was out here like, yes, let's do that. But yeah, wasn't a really big fan of this movie either, also because of Demi Lovato. But yeah, I don't really have much more to say about it. I watched it, but I watched it like years later. I didn't watch it like when it came out. I just remember, I find it funny though that like they ended up like, cause like the whole premise of the movie is that yeah, they're back at Camp Rock for another year. Apparently Shane and what was her name in the movie? I don't remember. But yeah, Shane and Demi's character had been dating like long distance or whatever, and then they were like, oh, now at Camp Rock we'll finally have time to spend together or whatever. But then what ends up happening is that this other camp that's run by a guy who like is like the rival of the camp director of Camp Rock, he starts up his own camp and all that, and it's kind of better than Camp Rock. And what ends up happening is that he offers like the camp counselors at Camp Rock, he's like, hey, I'll pay you more if you come over here. And all the counselors end up going over there because obviously, yeah, like the fuck if they're offering me a pay raise, hell yeah. So they're like, we're gonna have to shut down Camp Rock. But then they're like, oh, Demi's idea is like, oh, let's we'll be the camp counselors for the other kids, and yada yada, so that the camp doesn't go under. And it's kind of taking time away from Shane. That's like one of the plots of the movie. Like, it's taking time away from Shane and Demi's character in order for them to spend time together or whatever, and like they have arguments and shit or whatever. I don't fucking know, but I just remember too, Nick's character also, like, he falls in love with a girl. He falls in love with the daughter of the director guy from Camp Star, which is also pretty interesting. And Kevin's just there. No, I'm playing. He's a counselor and he has like problems with the kids. But yeah, like I just remember it was funny too, because like there's like this one scene like, oh no, like what are we gonna do? Like, oh my god, all the counselors are gone, and then she's like, guys, we won't back down. It's like, bro, we're dealing with the possibility of the camp getting shut down. I don't think this is time for a song. But yeah, no, it was pretty funny. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I find that it was pretty funny. But yeah, never didn't really like Camp Rock though. And I know they're making a Camp Rock 3 apparently, and I'm like, oh my god. Kim Possible, the movie. I never watched this movie, but I heard it was bad. High School Musical. Now I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I didn't really like High School Musical like that. I wasn't really a fan. I will put it above Camp Rock though, because if you had to tell me, would you want to watch High School Musical or Camp Rock? I'm gonna pick High School Musical, because I'm like, fuck no, I don't want to watch Camp Rock. But yeah, I don't know. Like, obviously, I make the memes like, we're all in this together. You know, like, other than that, I don't. It's not a movie I would go out of my way to rewatch. Like, I don't really like it. I didn't really like it. Like, I wasn't really a big fan of High School Musical. I'm going to be honest with y'all. Rip Girls. Never watched this shit. Return to Halloween Town. Yeah. Our first absolute garbage. Because how you gonna tell me we had... what is it? We had 3 movies. Y'all should have just left it at the 3rd one and not have made a 4th one. If like, and I know I've mentioned this before when I've talked about like recasting. Like, I would prefer they recast instead of getting rid of the character altogether. But like, I feel like this is the one instance where it's like, no, like, what the like, I remember when I first watched this movie, I'm like, where the hell is Marnie? And then when they're like, oh yeah, I'm like, that's Marnie? What? Like, no, like, absolutely not, bro. Like, what the fuck? And you know what sucks is that, like, even if they, well, I mean, technically they still could, but even if they wanted to make, like, a 5th Halloween Town with the original actor of Marnie, they can't include Grandma Aggie because her actor is dead. But, I mean, technically they still could. It's just the fact that, again, they would have to write out her character, which, I mean, like, yeah, she died, or just mention she died, like in Descendants, you know. But yeah, no, like, absolutely, like, you gotta be effing my A. Especially the fact too that, like, they have like this one scene where it involves like her like going to like the past or whatever, like Halloween Town, like in the past, and she meets Grandma Aggie, and like, I don't fucking remember. But yeah, like, she meets her, and then, like, she looks exactly like how she looks, and it's like, no. No. No! But yeah, the plot's interesting, but, like, again, no. Just no. That shit pissed me off. I was like, what the... And everybody, I feel like most people feel the same way. Because, like, Disney Channel, what the fuck, man? Like, just don't make a 4th movie. Again, and like I said, I know I've made the... like, I'd rather you replace the actor than just to get rid of the character altogether. But this is, again, the one instance where, like, no. Especially since we had her for, like, 3 movies! You know? Like, no. But anyway, the Poof Point. I'd never heard of this. Eddie's Cook-Off. Nope. Hatching Pete. Now, I remember this movie. I remember I used to kind of like this movie. I'm gonna put it at a C. Because, again, it's a little, I would say it's like a silly movie. I did like it had my boy Mitchell Musso and Jason Dolly. Like, yeah. Personally, what's the word? I like the romance that he has with, like, this other girl that he meets who's, like, a new student. I liked that, aspect of the movie. Like, I liked that relationship, I guess. But, like, other than that, like, if you were to hit me up and be like, yo, you want to watch Hatching Pete? I'm be like, no. Maybe, unless there's some food involved. But otherwise, yeah, no, I'm good. Motorcrossed. Nope. I remember when this movie would come on, and I'd be like, yeah, no, I'm good. And I would change the channel. Avalon High. I remember this movie. I used to actually, like, kind of like this movie, not gonna lie. Especially the fact that it's like, oh, she's King Arthur or some shit. Like, it involved with, like, the whole King Arthur bullshit. Which I liked at the time because I was a really big fan of Sonic and the Black Knight. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I'll put it at a C. I'll be honest with y'all. It's an interesting movie, and also had the guy who plays Mason in Wizards of Waverly Place, which is also pretty interesting. But other than that, yeah, like, would I rewatch it? Maybe. But I'd have to watch it with some friends, because, like, I'm not watching this by myself. But yeah, it was a pretty interesting movie, not gonna lie. What does that say? Gotta Kick It Up. What? I don't even know what that is. Yeah, no, I don't know what that is. Pixel Perfect. Nope. How to Build a Better Boy. I do remember watching this movie. I'm gonna put it at a D, to be honest. Like, I wouldn't rewatch this of my own volition. The plot was, it was an interesting plot, not gonna lie. I think it was like again, they were super nerds, they were super smart, but they were, like, best friends. and like obviously they would get made fun of. And then like this one guy that she likes, but I think like he rejects her because like the popular girl or some shit. Like the popular girl told him not to. I don't remember. So what they do is like they I don't know how they hack into a government thing, steal one of like their things, and she creates obviously a boy for her to be with her. And yeah, it's a little weird, not gonna lie. Smart House. Now I remember this movie. This movie, it was an interesting movie, not gonna lie. I'm put it at C. It's not bad. Like, the premise was super interesting. Where like they won like a house, like, and it's obviously hence the name Smart House, and yada yada. And then eventually she creates herself a body, and all that, and she ends up becoming kind of evil and shit. It was a very interesting movie. It was very weird. The Janine Project. I definitely don't remember that one. Descendants 2. Now I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm not a big fan of Descendants. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I don't know, the whole premise. I'll put it at D. D for Descendants. But I don't like. It's kind of like because the whole point of they're the kids of villains or whatever, and they're bad, but then they learn friendship and love or whatever. So they decide maybe being bad is bad. I just was never a fan of that. Like of that aspect. I would prefer that they stay villains or at least neutral. Like it's kind of like with Maleficent. That movie where it's like this is telling like the backstory of Maleficent and how she came to be Maleficent. But then that's not what actually happened in the movie. They made her a good guy, which I'm like, what? Her name means evil, bro. Why the fuck? Because at least the only thing I will give this for is that at least in this, Maleficent stays evil. At least, credit where credit's due at the very least. But again, I wasn't a very big fan of the fact that they become good. It wasn't my cup of tea. But I can see why people liked this series. But I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I'm not particularly a big fan. But anyway, Brink. Never heard of that. That they become good. It wasn't my cup of tea. All right. Geek Charming. Now I remember this movie. Actually, I was a big fan of the movie. Not gonna lie, like I liked it. But interestingly enough, what's the word? My thing just froze. Cool, love that. For me, I'm gonna put it at a C when it lets me. But apparently, because the girl who plays, her name is Dylan, which I always found really stupid. Because like, why the fuck would you name your daughter Dylan? And that's not even like if you mention her name in conversation without clarifying that it's a girl, I'm not gonna think you're talking about a girl. I'm gonna think you're talking about a guy. Like, dead ass. But yeah, that was really stupid. Like, I don't know who in their right mind thought that was a good idea. But anyway, but yeah, but like she's like the popular girl, blah blah blah, and then there's this guy, the nerdy guy who's like filming a movie or some shit. She's like, oh yeah, I'll be the main character in your movie, and like they start what's the word? They start getting along. Okay, why is this like not loading? And now my thing is frozen. That's great. Of all the times for you to become frozen, this isn't the time. Okay. Okay, where'd it go? Hello? Where'd it go? Where'd the Geek Charming go? Hello? Where'd the Geek Charming go, bro? Am I blind? Like, I can't see it. Where'd it go, bro? Hello? Hello? Like, can y'all see it? Because I can't. Like, is it here? Or, like, it just went into the unknown? Into the unknown! Into the oh, there it is. Okay, so it made it to C. But anyway, but yeah, the plot of that movie, and then they ended up starting getting closer, whatever, and they kind of have, like, a thing for each other, and then at one point, like, when he makes the movie, like, she's like, oh, I can't believe, like, you would embarrass me like this or whatever. And it's like, but I don't know. They get over it or whatever, and then, yeah, yada yada. But, yeah. But anyway, interestingly enough, the actors got into a relationship, but apparently he was, like, abusive and shit. So, like, it was very toxic, abusive, so she eventually left him, and I think she had to get a restraining order for him and shit. And it ended up, like, messing her up, and, like, she didn't want to date for a while, but then eventually she did. She's better today, obviously. But it's like, yeah, that's really fucked up. And then apparently, this guy has been recently arrested for having child porn, and I'm like, oh my god! Damn! Like, not only was he, like, again, he was a piece of shit to her, but oh my god. Like, it kind of makes it hard to watch that movie today. Like, I don't know. I don't think I could bring myself to rewatch that movie knowing that, but yeah. But I liked the movie. It wasn't bad. Maybe just replace this guy. But yeah, wasn't that? Yeah, no. Double Teamed. I don't know that. Den Brother. I do remember this vaguely. I vaguely remember this movie. I don't remember it 100%. So I'm gonna put it at D for Den Brother. But I don't remember it too well. I think it was something like she was part of like a Girl Scout thing or whatever, and that was her brother, and he has to take care of them because something happened to their den mother. Hence the term Den Brother. But yeah, no, I don't remember the movie that well. But I remember watching it though. So I think it was an okay movie. Hey, y'all are reading the Cheetah Girls 2. We were putting that in Nash. Cause like I don't know. The Cheetah Girls 1, like again, if you were to like be like, hey, you want to watch the Cheetah Girls? I'm be like, which one? And that you tell me 2? I'm be like, hell yeah. Cause like again, the Cheetah Girl again, they were in Barcelona. It was just an interesting plot, and like the music was good. And there's that part when they get to Spain and they start singing like that, bangers. Like if I ever go to Spain one day, bro, I'm gonna do that. No, I'm not. But I'll probably be like, no matter where we come from. I don't know the song. I'm gonna be honest with you. But yeah. But it was an interesting movie, and I liked the part, like the part where like, what's the word? When like they're all doing their own thing, and Gabriella's trying to get them like to, write a song and rehearse for like this thing, but like they're all kind of like going their separate ways. So then like they're all each individually singing about like sad shit, and then Gabriella's about to leave or whatever. But they're like, no, and they make up, and it's a very nostalgia. Stuck in the Suburbs. I vaguely remember this movie. I'm putting it a C. It's not bad. It's just, cause I remember the plot was like, I think she was new, Brenda Song's character, and I don't fucking know. But they end up, she bumps into like a guy who's like a bodyguard or whatever for like this famous dude, and they have his phone, so they start texting and like using his phone to get in touch with like different celebrities, or like to alter like stuff for him, and then she's like, oh yeah, we're his like assistant, or I don't remember the exact plot of the movie. I just remember like they had some superstar's phone, and like they kept like effing with his life a little bit, and blah blah blah, and yada yada. I don't remember it too much. Zapped, I never watched. I just remember it has that cringe ass scene where like they all pretend to be dogs. I don't know. Read It and Weep, never watched. Now You See It, I don't know that one. Never heard of it. Buffalo Dreams, know nothing about. Ready to Run, I'm ready to walk. Let me stop. But anyway, Let It Shine. Now, I remember watching this movie. I'm putting it a C. I don't know, like, the songs, I don't know, like, if you were to tell me, like, oh, do you know any of the songs from Let It Shine? I'd be like, no. Because I don't know, they weren't banger for me anyway. They weren't bangers for me to go out of my way to listen to. I just remember, like, like, that part where, like, he, like, rap battles with, like, the, I wouldn't say the antagonist, but, like, the guy that, like, makes fun of him or whatever. But it is a very, interesting movie. Would I go out of my way to watch it today? No. But yeah, I don't know. It's just like, I don't know, y'all. Like, it doesn't like give me like the nostalgia feelings. Like, again, I wouldn't go out of my way to watch this movie. Be honest with y'all, it wasn't bad. It's just like, you know, Sharpay's Fabulous Adventure. Now, I vaguely remember this movie. I remember watching it. I'm putting it at a D. I'll be honest with y'all. Like, it, but like, you know, like, I just remember it involves Sharpay going somewhere, and like she's being very humbled, I guess, if I'm remembering correctly. I don't remember, but yeah, it's something like that. Going to the mat. Don't remember that. Jumping ship. Nope. Tiger Cruise. Never heard of that. Under Wraps. Nope. The Scream Team. Definitely never heard of that one. Now, I've never watched this movie because of the fact that Raven-Symoné is not in the movie. I was like, once I saw the trailers for this movie and I saw that Raven-Symoné wasn't in it, I was like, no, I'm good. No. And, yeah, I've never, to this day, I've never watched this movie because of the fact that I didn't like the fact that Raven-Symoné wasn't in the movie. I was like, no! No! Like, it's funny, too, because I remember, like, you know, back in the day, like, when Disney Channel, like, you could go on the website and, like, you know, it was, like, a little interactive stuff, and, like, depending on what, like, show or movie you were, like, looking at, it would, like, reflect that. I remember, like, they used to have, like, little mini games for the Cheetah Girls One World that I would play. But, I just wouldn't watch the movie because I was like, no, I refuse to watch it. To this day, I still refuse to watch this movie. Like, no. Where my girl Raven at? But, yeah. I just find that funny. Halloween Town 2. I'm putting it an A. It's a very interesting premise. You know, like, and I like that it was, like, the whole, like, I think the movie's called Halloween Toontown. Halloween. I would say Halloween Toontown. Halloween Town 2: Calabar's Revenge, which what's the word? It involves Calabar's son coming back for revenge, which is really interesting to me. Like, wow, you know, like, you know. The only thing is though, it kind of sucks though that like because Calabar at the end of the movie, Calabar's son too, he just disappears. Like, he doesn't die or anything. He just disappears, and you never know what happens to him because he's never mentioned in the third movie, and the fourth movie was that garbage. But you know, hilariously enough, I think the actor who plays Kimberly J. Brown, who plays Marnie, and the guy who played Calabar's son are actually married in real life. That's pretty funny. That is hilarious. But anyway, High School Musical 2. Again, I ain't really a big fan of High School Musical, so we're just gonna put it in the D. But I do, you know, obviously this is the infamous, like, the bet on it, bet on it, bet on, you know, again, the songs were, I think the songs were better in this movie than they were in the first one. Because, you know, there's that one song that I always reference whenever, like, I was, like, you know, hilariously enough, like, I'll be like, I've got to move on and be who I am. I just don't belong here. I hope you understand. You know that song? I gotta go my own way. What about us? What about everything we've been through? What about trust? You know I never wanted to hurt you. What about me? You know, like that song. And my thing froze again. God damn it. But, what's the word? Bird. Okay. But yeah. Yeah, plot-wise, I don't really care. Johnny Tsunami. I think that's what the movie's called. I never watched it. Frenemies. I remember watching this movie. My thing is freezing again. Ugh! It's always when I'm, like, trying to do something. Okay. I vaguely remember watching this movie. I'm putting it at a D. I'll be honest with y'all. Like, like, I find it funny that obviously Zendaya and Bella Thorne were in this movie, and, you know, they were in Shake It Up together, which I liked. You know, it's pretty interesting. But other than that, like, I didn't really care for this movie. I'm gonna be honest with you. Phantom of the Megaplex, or From, I don't fucking know. I never watched that. Up, Up, and Away. No. Xenon, you already know I don't know. Invisible Sister, never watched this movie. Full Court Miracle. The Kim Possible movie, So the Drama. I don't remember this movie, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I think I did watch it, I just don't remember it. Halloween Town High. Where's Halloween Town on my list? I'm gonna put this one at a B, because, it's just not as memorable. I'm gonna be honest with you, because, like, you know, I feel like the first two are, like, the memorable movies, and the third one's kind of like the movie, personally, in my opinion. And then, you know, the fourth one is just, we don't talk about that one. But, I don't know, like, it's, like, about them, like, going to high school, and, like, they're trying to have, like, you know, people from Halloween Town be in it, but they have to wear disguises because of humans, and blah, 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 and, like, that whole thing. But, I don't know. I think, too, like, because, you know, there was three of them. There was Marnie, there was her brother, and then she has a little sister named Sophie. And they had, like, kind of-ish roles in the first and second movie, but I think Sophie's not really in the third movie. And then her character is just completely gone in the fourth one, which is really crazy, because, again, I'm not a fan of, the fact that, obviously, they recast her character. But you tell me y'all couldn't have just made this movie. Like, I feel like, personally, what they should have done instead, I mean, granted, I feel like no matter what, everyone would have been mad, but I feel like it would have been better if, like I said before, like, this would have been the movie where, like, you could have just wrote the character out of the movie, you know, instead. And, like, made the movie about Sophie. Because, like, I think, they mentioned, like, the first movie is that, like, she's actually, like, a really powerful witch. Like, more powerful than Marnie, if I'm remembering correctly. Like, it would have been interesting to see, like, her, like, training to be a witch. Because that's what they say in the fourth movie. She's off training with Grandma Aggie or whatever. So it's like, why not just make the movie about her? But, you know, whatever. Anyway. True. I've never heard of that. Back on Board. Never heard of that movie. The Other Me. Nope. The Cheetah Girls. The original. I have to put it at a B. Like, I don't know. Like I said, the second one is the most, like, memorable to me. The first one, you know, obviously is where it all began. There were some bangers, you know, like there's that part where, like, they're singing to get her dog out. I remember that part. But I don't know. Otherwise, it's not that memorable to me. Not like the second movie. It ain't bad though. Again, it's still a good ass movie. You know, amigas, cheetahs, friends for life. I don't know if that was in the first movie now that I'm thinking about it. But, you know, hey. But yeah. Dad Napped. Now, I remember this movie. I remember that, yeah, it's like, it stars Emily Osment, and it has David Henry and, like, two other guys that I don't remember. I know they were from other shows, though. But yeah, but it was an interesting plot. I remember watching this movie a lot. But I'll put it at a C. Like, it wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad movie. Would I go out of my way to rewatch it? No. But I feel like it was an interesting movie. You know, like, yeah. Descendants. Y'all already know how I feel about this movie. Yeah. Again, I remember, I think I was interested in, like, the premise of it, but I had a feeling about how it was going to end, and I was correct, you know? Like, again, and Maleficent is one of my favorite Disney villains, so I'm, at least, you know, obviously they brought, like, one of the most interesting ones. But, like, no offense to my boy, Cameron Boyce, which, you know, R.I.P. But, again, daughter of Maleficent, daughter of the Evil Queen, son of Jafar, son of Cruella de Vil. Like, and don't get me wrong, I got nothing against the girl Cruella de Vil. Like, I like, obviously, her, she's kind of evil, because, you know, she wants to kill dogs for a coat. But, what's the word? Like, of all the villains, like, really? Really? Cruella de Vil's the one you chose? Like, I feel like, I don't know, like, I'm trying to think of who else is there. Oh, yeah, they introduced him in the second movie. Son of Hook. Captain Hook. I think that would have been much more interesting. But other than that, you know, I I'm gonna be honest with you, I just don't fuck with Descendants like that. Like, it's really, like, especially, like, oh my god, there's, like, the cringe-ass scenes. I was, like, watching earlier, it was pretty funny, like, of because, like, what's the word? I think he's freezing. The guy who plays Ben, which is, like, he's the son of, Belle and the Beast, which I don't even remember if they gave him a name in the movie, the actual Beast guy. But yeah, and, like, they're the ones who rule over all of, I don't remember what the land is called. But yeah, they rule over, like, all the land or whatever. And then they banish the villains to, like, some island or whatever with a border where they can't get out. But yeah, and, like, there's some cringe-ass moments that are mostly him. But obviously, like, there's the scene in the third movie where, like, they're having to fight against, like, some armor. And, like, they start dancing, having a dance battle with them, which that shit absolutely destroyed me. But anyway, Bad Hair Day. I vaguely remember watching this movie. It was I wouldn't go out of my way to watch it again. What does that say? Quince? I remember watching it, but I don't remember what the plot is about. I just remember that I think, like, her mom gives birth to, like, 5 kids or some shit. I don't remember anything other than that. The Wizards of Waverly Place movie. Now, I remember watching this movie. I'm putting it at a B. There's some pretty funny moments in the movie, and it's a very interesting movie because of the fact that, basically, it involves... They're going on vacation. Alex doesn't really want to go, but obviously they're forcing her to go. And her mom was the same way in the show. Like, she was very strict about them using magic. And, her mom was like, oh yeah. And then, like, I think Alex wanted to go off with some guy. Older guy. Which is also kind of, questionable. But, her mom was like, no. And then she's like, oh, I wish you and Dad never would have met. And, like, she has some type of, like, I don't remember how she did it. I don't remember. But yeah, so then now, her parents are, like, acting as if they have never met, you know? So, or they're back to a time where the parents didn't meet. I don't fucking remember. But anyway, but yeah, so then their whole thing is that they're going on a journey to, get, like, this stone or whatever so that they can, make things right. And if they don't get it in time, they're all gonna disappear because of the fact that, again, if their parents never met, then they would never existed. Something like that. But yeah, it was a very interesting movie. And then it has them do, like, the family wizard competition early, but without Max, because I think Max had disappeared at this point. So, yeah, they're doing the wizard competition, yada yada. Alex ends up winning, obviously, and then Justin doesn't remember her or whatever. And then, like, yeah, and I don't know. It was very emotional. But yeah, it was very interesting too because the fact that too that they did the wizard competition early was also very interesting. But other than that, yeah, it's not a bad movie. Like, I would watch again. Cowboys, I don't really remember this movie. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I vaguely remember watching it, I believe, but other than that, yeah. Phineas and Ferb Across the Second Dimension. Now, I loved this movie. I'm gonna put it at an A. I really liked this movie. As someone who I really liked Phineas and Ferb. I still like to this day. I still haven't watched the new season that came out. But I really liked Phineas and Ferb, and this movie was so interesting, especially the fact that it involves Phineas and Ferb finally finding out that Perry is a secret agent. But yeah, the movie is so good. Like, I love to rewatch that movie. Absolutely. The Color of Friendship. Oh my god, this brings me back. I'm gonna put it at a B. It was a really good movie. It's a very interesting movie. It involves with racism. But yeah, but it was a really good movie. Like, I highly recommend y'all should watch it. I think it's based on a true story too, if I'm not mistaken. Don't know that and don't know that one. But there you go, guys. That's my rating. As you can already know, obviously, it was in the top. Can you do Disney Channel shows next? Oh, that's a good idea. That is a good idea. I'm gonna have a questionable amount. I'm not gonna be honest with you. We could do it now. Should I do it now? What y'all think? The only downside is I'd have to rename this video. Yeah, let's see if I can find one. Might as well. I'm already here, and I don't got anything to do for the next hour. No. Oh, my thing froze again. God dang it. I think he's freezing. Okay. Let's see. Hold on, I gotta move my phone. Alright, hold up, y'all. Let's look it up. If I can. Okay. Disney. Oh shit. I'm about to spell Disney wrong. Did I spell Disney wrong? Okay, no, I didn't. I was like out here like, why? What do you mean? Okay. Disney Channel shows. Okay, and animated. So let's go. 78. Okay. I'm gonna add some. Cause like, yeah, obviously. Okay. Oh, oi! My phone fell on the floor. Oh my god. Where'd my phone go? Oi. Okay. Alrighty. Now let me go back to typing stuff in, because I'm going to add some stuff for myself. Add a row below. Okay, and I'm going to edit it if it would let me. Okay. Can't spell! Alright. Haven't seen, and then I'm going to put my absolute garbage. Because obviously. And I'm gonna make this one pink, because why not? Well, like a lighter purple. Alrighty. So let's give this one a start. Alrighty. Let's see. What does that say? The Wuzzles? Yeah. I haven't seen Raw Tunage. I've never heard of that before. Mouse Tracks? Yeah, no. A lot of these are like, I have no idea. Quack Attack? No. Bonkers? Yeah, a lot of these first ones are like, I don't. I don't even know what that says. What else? Disney's Aladdin. Now, interestingly enough, I've never fully watched this show, but I've seen an episode from this show. I'm putting it at a C, because although I didn't really watch the show, I remember, because I used to get like these Disney princess like DVDs, like they would come with like different stuff, and sometimes they would have like episodes from like certain shows, like they would have like one from like the Little Mermaid show. I remember they had one from the Aladdin show, and there was like other stuff to it that I don't remember, because again, I was very young. But I remember watching an episode where like Jasmine got like cursed with something that was turning her into a snake. So like they were looking for something to obviously like stop it and to help her. And I think by the end she like fully transforms into a snake or whatever. So then Aladdin does the same thing, like to make himself turn into a snake. I don't remember it 100%. I just remember that episode. But it's very interesting. And I think he did a collab with like Hercules, because Hercules also had his own show. So yeah, I just remember that. Like that was it was a time. I never fully watched that show though. I've never watched Gargoyles. I've heard of it. I have never watched it myself though. What does that even say? No, I've never heard of this one. What else? Timon and Pumbaa. Now, I remember, cause like my dad would go to Nicaragua a lot. Sometimes he would bring back like some like pirated DVDs. But anyway, oh shit. Yeah, I'll leave that at D. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, cause I remember some episodes from this show, but I don't remember them too well. And obviously the show is about Timon and Pumbaa, but yeah, no, like I don't know. I remember I would get bored watching their don't get what's the word? The Lion King 1.5. Fire. I love that movie. Like I remember I liked to watch that over the original Lion King. But yeah, like it ain't bad. I remember the episodes did not like interest me that much. Quack Pack. Adventures of the Gummy Bears. I've never seen that before. I think I watched like an intro one time. Mighty Ducks. Nope. 101 Dalmatians. I didn't even know they had a show. Recess. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I never watched Recess. Like, I had heard of it, but it would be a show that I skipped. Sorry! I have no idea what that says. Pepper Ann? Hercules. Now I've never watched this either. I did watch one episode though. I watched this one where like he like has a thing for Medusa. But other than that, I didn't even know this show existed until recently. Mickey Mouse Works. Never heard of this one either. Teacher's Pet? Nope. Buzz Lightyear of Star Command. I have never watched that show. I've heard of it, but I've never watched it. House of Mouse. Y'all already know. House of Mouse, bro. And again, it is criminal that this show is not on Disney Plus. I think it's something with copyright issues. I don't know. But it's like, bro, House of Mouse was absolute fire. Like, absolute gas. I fucking love House of Mouse. Now, granted, I know it's just y'all, it's pretty much just watching, like, old Mickey Mouse cartoons. But, like, bro, House of Mouse? Fire. Absolute fire. I love the fact that it was, like, all the Disney characters, like, interacting with each other at some clubhouse that Mickey has. Like, that. Fire. Absolute gas. Fucking love House of Mouse, bro. I wish it was on Disney Plus. Because, fuck. DuckTales. I've never watched DuckTales. I need to finish it. I watched the new one with Ben Schwartz in it. But yeah, I've never actually watched this one though. The original. I just remember the theme song. And I low-key remember watching my sister play the game. But other than that, yeah, I don't really know. Lloyd in Space. Never heard of that. The Legend of Tarzan. Now, I'm gonna put it at a C. I vaguely remember kind of-ish watching this show. I wasn't watching it when it was on air, but I remember like what I heard about. I had a Tarzan phase at one point, not gonna lie. And I would watch the show on YouTube. And I remember there's like this one episode where they run into like this little girl who's like part of an old tribe or some shit. I don't remember. But like the girl has a thing for Tarzan. And I think she was trying to get Jane out of the way. And Tarzan's like, yeah, no. Like, I love Jane. And whatever. And, like, the girl tries to kill them. It was a very interesting episode. But otherwise, like, I didn't really, like, I vaguely remember watching it on YouTube. Like, some of the episodes. But other than that, yeah, no, I don't remember the show too well. I just remember it a little bit. But it was interesting, you know, because it involves, it's their life, like, after they're already married and stuff and living in the jungle and them running into shit. The Proud Family. I didn't really watch it like that, you know? Like, I can see why, like, a lot of people like the show. But, yeah, sorry. I'm not a fan. Like, it's not a show I like to rewatch. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Like, I don't know. I don't really have much to say about it. Like, it's not bad. It's just not my cup of tea, you know what I mean? Timo Supremo. Never heard of that before. Kim Possible. I'm gonna put it at a B. It's not bad. Again, it's not really... Again, obviously the theme song is like a staple. You know, the... Call me, beat me, if you want to reach me. You know, like that the song, the theme song. And I feel like everybody... Not me, because I wasn't like that. And also because I have an iPhone. But they had, like, the little bing, bing, bingy as their, like, ringtone or whatever. But, yeah, it ain't a bad show. I remember watching, like, remember back in the day. You know, when we used to have DVDs. And, you know, you would watch the trailers of, like, other movies. And, like, I remember they would put... Let me look it up, actually. I forgot. Aren't there, like, multiple Kim Possible movies? I don't remember. Not the remake. Hold on. Because there used to be this trailer that would always come on when I was, like, watching a movie, like, on a DVD. And it was, like, a Kim Possible... God damn it, it's all caps. Kim Possible movie... Is it still the drama? But, like, it was, like, the specific trailer that would come on. And it would be, like, I think it was this one. Let's see. I think it's this one! Bro, this is bringing back memories. But yeah. Yes! Oh my god, it was this one. I remember this, bro. This trailer would always come on when I was watching, like, a movie. You know? Yeah, oh my god, bro, the nostalgia I'm feeling right now. But yes, I remember seeing this. They'd always show this trailer when you were watching a Disney movie on DVD.
Now on DVD.
Yes, oh my god, bro, the nostalgia from that. But anyway, but yeah, what was I even getting on? What was the point? The point of me putting that on? Okay, but anyway, but yeah, like, other than that, I don't know. It's not a show I got on my way to rewatch, but it's still good. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't know that one. Lilo and Stitch, the series. I'll put it at a B2. I remember it was hilariously enough. These two had a crossover episode. I remember that was pretty funny. But Lilo and Stitch, the series. Now, I remember watching some episodes. I didn't watch like the whole show, but obviously I remember it involves like the rest of Jumba's experiments, and Gontu is in it, and like there's like this hamster guy that's also the villain. And hilariously enough, I remember watching the finale for this show where like they release all the experiments that are taken captive by Gontu, and then that ending leads to the third movie, Leroy and Stitch. Don't even get me started on that movie. But anyway, but yeah, and I remember obviously this is where Angel was introduced, you know, the pink one that whenever you see Stitch or whatever, like, you know, if you're doing a couple's costume, there you go. But yeah, but I don't remember the show too well. I just remember that, and then obviously the guy who Ruben, he's an experiment too. But he's also one that can actually like fully talk, and he was obsessed with the sandwiches. Remember that? It was a pretty good show, not gonna lie. Like I remember watching it. I just don't remember the episodes that well. But Dave the Barbarian. Now I don't remember this one too well. I'll put it at a C. I don't remember it too well. I remember watching it. I just don't remember it that well because like that was like, ooh, I don't even know how long ago. God damn, I'm 25, y'all. But anyway, but yeah, it was a good show. Like, it was pretty funny, but I don't remember it too well, I'm not gonna lie. Brandy and Mr. Whiskers! Bro! Putting that there. I remember, this is the show that would come on at 3 in the morning when you're still awake. I remember! Bro! The nostalgia. Like, I don't know, did they ever make it off that island? I don't remember. Or maybe did the show get canceled before they did? American Dragon, Jake Long. Just put that at an A. I know, above Kim Possible, I know. But I remember that. I think it was like, was it season 2 where like, was it season 2? I don't remember. Where like, they changed the animation. Where it was like really weird. I find that funny. Because like, in the first season, his dragon is like buff and shit. And then in the second season, his dragon is like skinny as shit. And I was like, what? But yeah, I remember this show. It was a good show. And I remember the theme song too. The theme song was pretty fire. Let's put it on. Let's see. And it had an ending which was really good. How'd you know, Google? Listening to me, I know it.
He's cool, he's hot like a frozen sun. He's young and fast, he's the chosen one. People are not bragging. He's the American dragon. He's gonna stop his enemies with his dragon power. Dragon teeth, dragon tail, burning dragon fire. A real live wire, American dragon. Dragon up, American dragon. With Grandpa Master, it's Destiny. What's up, G? It's showtime, baby, for the legacy. American Dragon. From the J to the A to the K to the E. I'm the Mac Daddy Dragon of the NYC. You heard? Jake, get back to work. Aw,
man. The nostalgia, bruh. No, the thing I remember is like the what is it? Like the grandpa was a dragon, obviously, and like his mom, who is the the daughter of the grandpa. For some reason, I think she couldn't turn into a dragon. If I'm remembering correctly, like it skipped her generation for some reason, which I find that really weird. But yeah, anyway, that good show, good show. Bangers. The New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. I don't remember that. The Buzz on Maggie. What the hell is that? Hey, it sounds familiar. Now I have to look it up. Because I don't remember that. Let me see. Y'all remember the Buzz on Maggie? Because I don't. Oh, yeah, no. I already saw the picture. Yeah, no, I never watched that. No. It looks familiar, though, but I don't remember watching it. The Emperor's New School. Put that at a C. I remember that. Remember this show? That's it. I just remember like he has like a love interest in the show. That's all I remember. I think Yzma's in the show too, if I'm remembering correctly, but don't quote me on it. The Replacements. I remember this show. I'm gonna put it at a C too. It was very interesting. Like, I remember the whole premise, like they were orphans or whatever, and like they get phones and they're able to get parents or whatever. Like, 'cause I think the mom was a daredevil and the dad. I don't remember the dad. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. But yeah, like it was an interesting show, and like each show had them like calling somebody and yada yada. You know, like I don't remember that one. Phineas and Ferb. Yeah, no. Yep. Phineas and Ferb. I remember too. I remember watching the first episode, and when I tell you, I know order-wise, the first episode is the roller coaster episode, but when the show first premiered on Disney Channel, it was the car episode, when like they're being race cars or something like that. I remember! But yeah, but yeah, no, I remember this show. I remember watching too, like, oh my god, the memories, bro. The memories! The memories! And then when the movie premiered, oh my god, the memories. Kick Buttowski. Now, this was actually on Disney XD when that was still a thing. I don't think that is still a thing. Kick Buttowski was really good. I don't remember too well. Obviously, he was a daredevil. He didn't have a nose for some reason, which was really weird. But yeah, and it was a little funny show. I liked it. Didn't watch that. Fish hooks. Oh my god, that's a B. It was pretty fun. I remember Kyle Massey played, like, the Milo, if I remember correctly, that's his name. And I remember the guy who plays, like, the Rick and Morty characters, voiced Oscar in this show. I remember that. Yeah, it was a really good show. It was pretty funny. Y'all remember Clamantha? That was funny. Take Two. Oh, this brings me back. I'm putting it at a... It was just them talking to celebrities. I just remember that. Put it at a C. It's not bad. It's just, like... I don't remember sitting long enough to watch it. Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers. I've never watched this show. You know, hilariously enough, though, I did watch the live-action movie that Disney Plus made of Chip 'n Dale. That shit is... No, dog, you know what's crazy? Is that, like... So, basically, in that movie, what happens is that, yeah, they film the show together. Like, they meet in school. They're not brothers! Is what it was absolutely insane to me. I'm like, what? What do you mean they're not brothers? Like that remember that shit pissed me off in that movie. I was like, huh? But but anyway. But yeah, and like again, the whole thing is like, oh yeah, they made that show together. It ran its time and yada yada. And there's a whole bunch of other stuff that happens in that movie. Would I recommend to watch that movie? Just once should you ever watch that movie. There's a Kingdom Hearts reference in it too, which is pretty funny. But yeah. I've never watched the show, but I watched that godforsaken movie. Anyway, Motor City. Never heard of that. Y'all! When this was on Disney XD, and I remember that I was obsessed with this show. And I was so pissed when they canceled it, y'all. I was so pissed. It is on one of the hardest cliffhangers ever, bro. Where, like, Clue was coming. I loved this show, bro. It irks me to this day that they canceled it. And the reason they canceled it was because the toys weren't selling or whatever. I'm like, ah! If I knew, I would have bought those toys, dog. Would I have made a difference? Not really. Randy Cunningham, ninth grade ninja. Now, I vaguely remember watching this show. Ben Schwartz is in this show. He voices Randy. It's a very interesting show. I think it got canceled, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on it. But I remember watching it. It wasn't a show I went out of my way to watch, but I watched it nonetheless, you know? I just remember Ben Schwartz is in it. That's all I remember. Gravity. Y'all already know. Dog! Dog! Gravity Falls? Absolute fire. Like, ooh! It is criminal that it only had 2 seasons. Now, granted, I think like the Alex Hirsch, which is the creator of the show, he only wanted it to be 2 seasons. Like, he's like, this is a story I want to tell, which, you know, I respect that. But fuck, make a movie, please. Like, dog, I would love a movie. Like, please, dog. Especially, like, over, like, the past few years, he had been, like, he made, like, the Book of Bill and, like, the Journal number 3, and, you know, at one point he was, like, teasing, like, some Gravity Falls stuff, but nothing came of it, and I was like, dog, make a movie, please! Please! You know, like, it was so good, bro. And, like, if y'all haven't watched it, I implore you, watch it's funny, it's serious, it has such a good story. Like, bro, this show was so good. I remember when, like, the trailers for the show were coming out, and, like, what's the word? I was getting so excited for, like, the premiere, and then when the first time, oh, the memories. It was so good, bro. It was such a good show. I miss Gravity Falls. Anyway, my boy Waddles. Love my boy Waddles. Never watched this. Nope. Wander Over Yonder. Put it at a C. I remember this show. I don't think I watched past the first season. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I think, though, the guy who voices what's his name? Wander? I'm gonna assume his name is Wander. But the guy who voices the main character, I think he also voiced Fix-It Felix Jr. in Wreck-It Ralph. So that's interesting. This brings me back. I remember that show. I remember, too, like, I got the Disney, I think this was a Disney XD exclusive show. I remember getting, like, the Disney XD app so I could play, like, the game. And I remember I used to play the one where they're on minecarts. But basically, it's about the 7 dwarves. And, like, the queen is actually, like, a silly, goofy. But yeah, like, I remember this show. It was an interesting show. It was more like it was a silly show, if anything. But I remember watching it, I remember liking it, too. So, yeah. Pen Zero, Part-Time Hero. Yeah. I did not fuck with Star versus the Forces of Evil. You know, interestingly enough, too, is that I think a lot of people complain about the ending because of the fact that, what's the word? She ends up getting with Marco, which is, like, the guy that she ends up living with at the beginning of the series. She ends up, like, she ends up having a crush on him, but he likes somebody else, and then she ends up going back to Muni or whatever. And I don't know. It annoyed me that she ended up getting with Marco at the end because, like, you telling me we couldn't have a show where, like, and again, they started off like just platonic friends, so, like, why did y'all feel the need to do that? I didn't watch past that. Like, I remember when that plot point happened, I was like, I'm good. I gotta stop watching the show. But yeah, like, it just, you know, like, like, I heard the endings. A lot of people complain about the ending, from what I've heard, because one of that being the reasons, but I think other stuff too. I don't remember. But yeah, like, I didn't like that because I hated the fact that they made it like, oh, you're telling me she just couldn't stay platonic friends with the guy in the show. You know, like, it really had to be like, oh, you know. My main thing too is like, I hated the whole like, oh, guys and girls can't be friends. Like, they have to fall in love. That's the thing that bothered me about this show. But yeah, no, I'm not a big fan. Not a big fan of Star versus the Forces of Evil. I've heard there's like good plots in it, but like no, I wasn't a big fan. Tailspin. Never watched that. Guardians of the Galaxy. Nope. What was that? Pickle and Peanut. No, never heard of that. Nope. Elena of Avalor. Now, I never watched this show, but I know apparently, like y'all remember Sophia the First? It's somewhere here, I think. But what's the word? The amulet that she has in that show, Elena is actually trapped in there. So I think there's one episode where then she gets her out or whatever, and then she's able to go back to her own kingdom. And she was trapped in there for like years. I think her whole family got killed in front of her eyes. I don't remember. But yeah, that. Future Worm. Never heard of that one. Milo's Murphy Law. Now, I've actually never watched that series. I just know that Weird Al Yankovic plays Milo. Rapunzel's Tangled Adventure. Now, I've never watched this show, but I've heard it's so good. And me being someone who really likes Rapunzel, I don't know why I haven't watched this show. I should, though, because, like, I remember at the time when it was coming out, ooh, there were some bangers. There's, like, this one song where, I'm gonna show it to y'all. Where, what's the word? This is like this one, Rapunzel. Am I even spelling Rapunzel right? I am not. I forgot what the song was called. It involves Varian. Yes, that character. Turns evil. The song? Where is it? No, it's not that one. Where's that song? There we go, it's this one. I'm not gonna play the whole song because
Your Highness.
Believe me, I know I've sunk pretty low, but whatever I've done, you deserve.
Varian.
Quiet! I'm the bad guy, that's fine. It's no fault of mine, and some justice at last will be served.
Please listen.
Now it's time to step up, or it's time to back down, and there's only one answer for me. And I'll stand up and fight, 'cause I know that I'm right. And I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. Ready as I'll ever be.
Yeah, but that. But there was like a whole, and then there was like that plot twist. Like, granted, I wish I didn't know them so I could watch the show and be like, oh my god! But then I wasn't gonna, I do know them. Where, this is a girl named Cassandra who is like, Rapunzel's friend. And then there's a plot twist, which, again, granted, if y'all haven't watched the show, I'd recommend just leaving the video now so you don't get spoiled. But Cassandra, the plot twist ends up being that she is actually Mother Gothel's daughter, like biological. And and then she abandoned her when Mother Gothel stole Rapunzel. That shit, she also a bad mother to her too. But that shit was actually like, huh? That shit was so insane to me, dog. But yeah, I should watch the show. I've heard it's really good. I should watch it. Anyway, Billy Dilly's Super Duper Subterranean Summer. Never heard of that. DuckTales. Now this show's actually pretty good. I'm gonna put it at a B. I haven't finished it. I should though. I really should finish it because like I've heard it's good. But yeah, I really do need to finish it. There's a lot of things I need to finish. Anyway, Spider-Man. Nope. Darkwing Duck. Never watched that. Big Hero 6. I haven't watched. Never watched Big CD Greens. Amphibia. Now, y'all. I didn't watch the show when the first 2 seasons were coming out because I had no interest in it. But y'all, when I tell you, if y'all haven't watched Amphibia, I highly recommend, because oh my god, this show is so good, and Brenda Song plays the main character, Anne, and if y'all know who Brenda Song is, she loves Zack and Cody, Wendy Wukong Homecoming Warrior, yeah, we mentioned it previously, but yeah, like, no, y'all, this show, gas, absolute fire, like, love it, and then Owl House, same thing. Y'all haven't watched it, I recommend. And again, it is absolutely criminal what Disney did to this show. Where at the final season was only allowed to be 3 episodes, and the episodes were an hour long instead of giving them a full, fleshed out season. Absolutely criminal. Because the show was so good, y'all. Like, the finale, even better. Like, it was so good, and it's criminal. The Ghost and Molly McGee. Now, I remember watching this show because I was low-key interested. But, like, I think I stopped watching after a while because I was waiting for new episodes to come out. And then eventually I never got the interest to watch it again. They do have an interesting episode, though, explaining, like, Hanukkah, which I found pretty interesting. That's a pretty interesting take. But other than that, I kind of got bored of the show after a while. You know, like, The Goof Troop. Never watched that show. The Little Mermaid. Now, I've never fully watched this show. I'm going to put it in C. I remember, again, like I mentioned previously, I used to get, like, the Disney Princess DVDs. Like, not the actual Disney Princess movies, but it would have, like, 3 little things of each Disney princess. Like, it would show, like, 3 Disney princesses on the box art, and that would be the thing that's on there. And one of them was a Little Mermaid episode, and one of the episode that it showed was, like, it's like this one episode where, like, Ariel gets cursed by this lobster or some shit, where she can't laugh, and if she laughs, she causes earthquakes or whatever. And she ends up, like, leaving to find the lobster to get rid of the curse on her. Like, bro, like, I don't like this. And it's like, and Ariel, at one point, she threatened him with her laughing, and she was causing earthquakes. And it's like, yeah, if you want me to stop, undo this curse, bro. But yeah, I remember that. I remember that episode. Other than that, I don't remember anything else other than that from the show. But yeah, I remember there was like a deaf mermaid on here too, from what I remember. But yeah, I don't remember the show too well. Chibiverse. I've watched some stuff from Chibiverse, but not a lot. I'm gonna put it at a D because, like, granted, they did make an Amphibia Owl House crossover episode, which was pretty cool. But other than that, it's not really my cup of tea. Hamster and Gretel. Yeah, I think, from what I've heard, this show is made by one of the creators from Phineas and Ferb, but I have no interest in watching that show. Moon Girl, never heard of, and Kif, never heard of. I'm surprised they didn't put Kid vs. Kat on here. But Kid vs. Kat was a show, I remember that. But yeah, that's my tier list of the shows, and yeah, I'm gonna have to update the title of this video. But yeah, that's my rating, y'all. Again, highly recommend y'all watch the ones that are in S, because yes, they're big. I really need to finish DuckTales. I really should watch Rapunzel. There's a lot of things I gotta do. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed my tier list of the Disney Channel movies and now shows. And now that I'm thinking about it, there are no what's the word? There are no live action shows on here. So let me do that real quick before I leave. I just now realize that. I'm like, wait, why are there no? Because it's Disney Channel / Disney Animation, so I'm out here thinking like, oh, okay, they're gonna show the live action shows, but no, I guess not. Hold on. Television shows, okay. They're gonna show me like live action. Okay, here we go. Well, kinda. Alright, one more, guys. One more for the road before we end this. Bruh. Ay! God damn it. Oh my god. Jesus. Alright. Let's get into it. Ant Farm! I remember this show. I'm putting it at a C. It's not a show I'd go out of my way to rewatch. Austin and Ally. I'll do A for Austin and Ally. I don't know if this is Out of the House or Bear in the Big Blue House. I don't remember. But I never watched that show. Buzz Lightyear, you already know we didn't watch that. Good Luck, Charlie. Now, I really liked this show. I'm going to put it at a B. My only gripe, I would say, with this show is the fact that, what's the word? Y'all remember, if y'all watched the show. But, there's, like, this guy that Teddy liked named Spencer. And there's one episode where it's revealed that he's been cheating on her. And they break up. But then later in the show, they get back together. That shit, like, absolutely no. Like, no! I hated that shit. And they ended up being Endgame, which I hate. Which I think is because of the fact that I think Bridget Mendler was actually dating that guy in real life, and that's the reason why. But it's like, no. Like, if y'all gonna have this whole plot point of him cheating on her, why would y'all have them get back together? It's like, don't have that plot point at all. Like, you know? JoJo's Circus. I don't remember this show too well. I remember watching it. But I don't remember it too well, so I'm going to put it at a C. Dog with a Blog. I'm sorry, y'all. I hate this show. Like, I remember watching it when it aired. But, like, I just, no. It's so dumb. Like, I heard the dog died. R.I.P. But, like, no. That show was so stupid. Like, it was just dumb. Like, no. I think this was the era. This was, like, during, like, the Liv and Maddie era, if I'm remembering correctly. And, no. The Doodle Bops! I vaguely remember this. So I'm going to put it at a C. I vaguely remember this. Vaguely. I think it was on Disney Junior, when it used to be called Disney Junior. Y'all already know. This is an A. Little Einsteins. Why even make baby shows? I'm going to put it at a D. Like this, you know, everybody knows, we're going on a ship. I didn't sing that correctly at all. We're going on a trip in our favorite rocket ship. Zooming through the sky, little Einsteins, come aboard, get ready to explore. There's so much to find, little Einstein, come. Okay, anyway. But yeah, that. Again, it was mostly like a baby show, because on Disney Junior. Emperor's New School. I don't remember how I rated this last time, so I'm going to put it at a C. Fish Hooks. I don't remember where I put it at. I think I'm going to put it at a B. I don't remember. Phil of the Future. Now, I didn't really watch this show like that, so I'm going to put it at a C. You know, Gravity Falls. You already know where this is going. Hannah Montana. Now, today is the 20th anniversary of the show. I loved Hannah Montana, bro. I remember I used to have bed sheets. I remember I got the one doll where she's singing "Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree." Put it an A. Hannah Montana was. I loved Hannah Montana, bro. I fucking loved that show. I had the one game, on PS2. I don't remember what the game was called. I think it was called like Spotlight Tour or something like that. But yeah, I remember I had that game on PS2. Interestingly enough, I lost that game. And I remember I wanted to replay it, but I didn't have any way to play it because I lost the game. So I remember one time I went to GameStop and I found the game for $5 on the Wii. I was like, hell yeah! So I ended up playing it on the Wii. Anyway, oh my god, this brings me back. Put it at a C. There you go, Playhouse Disney. I think it is called Disney Junior now, my dumbass. But, yeah, when it used to be called Playhouse Disney. I remember this, bro. I don't remember the premise of the show, but I remember it. Corey in the House. I'm put it at a C. C for Corey. Because, like, yeah. Jesse. I remember watching it for, like, the first 2 seasons, but I wasn't a big fan of Debbie Ryan. So, yeah. I wasn't really a big fan of the show. Johnny and the Sprites. And this one, I don't know. Kicking It. It has Jason Earls in it, which, if you don't know who he is, he played Jackson in Hannah Montana, which was Miley's brother. I vaguely remember watching Kicking It. I wasn't a big fan of the show, to be honest. But it was a show. It was interesting. Pair of Kings! The nostalgia. It's going to go in a C. Yeah. But I hated, though. It's because, y'all don't know, the boy Mitchell Musso had, like, DUIs or something. I don't remember. He got into some legal stuff. So, during I think it was the third season, I don't quote me on it, they replaced his character with, I forget his name, but with that one guy from Lemonade Mouth who plays, the blonde guy in that movie. But they replaced him with him. Apparently, he's like their long lost third brother. But it's like, man, y'all should have just canceled the show. Like, you know, or just recast the character. Anyway, the Koala Brothers, bro. I remember this. I don't remember the exact premise of the show, but I remember watching that on Playhouse Disney. Lilo and Stitch the series. I think I put this in a B. I don't remember. Lizzie McGuire. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I never watched Lizzie McGuire like that. Like, I remember the movie. I think we all remember the movie. You know, the hey now, this is what dreams are made of. But yeah, I never really watched Lizzie McGuire though. Like, I remember the movie, but I don't remember the actual show itself. Charlie and Lola, bro. I miss when it used to be Playhouse Disney. I feel like once they changed it to Disney Junior, absolute garbage. But I remember Charlie and Lola. I remember because he would drink chocolate milk and she would drink strawberry milk, and that got me obsessed with strawberry milk at a time. Oh, I loved that show. Handy Manny, y'all. The memories. I can put it at a C. It was really good. House of Mouse, y'all already know. Yeah, we already put that last time. PBJ and Otter. Never heard of that one. Phineas and Ferb. Where did I put Phineas and Ferb at? I think I put it at an S, right? Yeah, I did. Kim Possible. I think I put that at a B because I wasn't a really big fan. Again, it's not bad. Proud Family. I don't remember what I put it at. I'm gonna put it at a D because I didn't, you know. So Random. Now I remember this one. I'm putting it at an F. I'm sorry. It was like the whole Harry Potter thing that they did in the show was pretty funny, but like this was a spin-off from Sunny with a Chance because of the fact that I guess Demi Lovato a lot of things were happening with Demi Lovato at the time in the Disney era. I think she was on drugs, if I'm remembering correctly. But yeah, but she left Sunny with a Chance, so obviously they couldn't make a third season because obviously Sunny's gone. I don't know why they didn't just recast her character at that point, but whatever. But but yeah, they ended up making this spin-off show off of the show that they had in the show. A show within a show. Haha. But yeah, and it would be like little one-offs they would do, like of little skits that they did in the show. So, yeah. But yeah, that's that. Lab Rats. Now, I'm gonna put it at a D because this was a Disney XD show. I vaguely remember watching this show. But, what's the word? I don't know, like, this wasn't my, I think this guy, the main character ends up getting replaced in, like, the third season or something. That's So Raven! Oh, shit, where'd it go? That was a good-ass show. I'll put that in an A. So, you know, obviously the infamous, yeah. I think she also had a crossover with Hannah Montana and Sweet Love is Zack and Cody, which is also pretty interesting. But yeah, loved that show. I remember they ended up making that spin-off, Raven's Home, something like that, with her kids, and her son has the, what's the word? The power, the future, seeing, blah, blah, blah. Recess! Didn't really watch. The Replacements! I don't remember where I put it, so we're gonna put it at C. Roly Poly Oly. I don't remember this show that well. Schoolhouse Rock. It was a good show. I remember watching it in school sometimes. Like, they would have it on. Shake It Up. Let's see. Obviously, watching this show back now is a little cringe. But, you know, I remember, bring the lights up, bust the doors down. And, you know, it's funny because you would watch them dance. Because that's the whole basic of the show, that they would dance. And you'd be, like, watching it and be like, oh, my God, that's so cool. And now you watch it this day and you're like, oh, this shit is actually really bad. Sister, Sister. I never watched this show. Sunny with a Chance. There we go. I'm going to put it at a C. Like, it sucks. Again, the show got canceled because, obviously, stuff was happening with Demi Lovato. But, yeah, I remember when her and Chad broke up, bro. Yeah, no, dog. It was understandably why she broke up with him, but like, fuck. Ruined me. I don't remember this show, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Even Stevens, like I said, I didn't really watch this show. Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. Gas. You know what, actually? Yeah. S for Sweet Life. This is such a good-ass show. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I prefer that show over the Sweet Life on Deck. Sweet Life on Deck isn't bad, don't get me wrong. Like, I'll put it at A. But nothing, I don't think this would top the Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. Like, it was so good, dog. And again, I feel like it's criminal that they didn't have Ashley Tisdale on Deck. She ended up guest starring on one of the episodes, but I think it's criminal that they didn't have her in the show because, oh my god. And you know, it annoys me though is that like they end up introducing the character of like I think his name was Marcus in the show, yeah, but then he ends up leaving and he ends up on Pair of Kings. But yeah, like why introduce his character if y'all were just gonna you know get him out of there, you know? Wizards of Waverly Place. Hold up, y'all. Yeah. The nostalgia. And it kills me though. They you know, they made the reboot. I think it's like Wizards Beyond Waverly Place or something like that. I don't fucking remember. But it's basically it's about Justin, it's not about Alex. But yeah. But in that Justin isn't married to Juliet. He's married to some random human lady. Which I'm like, what the fuck? Because, like, I know, obviously, they couldn't get Bridget Mendler because, you know, she's not into acting anymore. But y'all could have just recast! My man Justin was in love with... God damn it. Hold on, y'all. Alright. Hold on, y'all. Need to reset. You're dropping my phone. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. My man Justin loved Juliet, bro. Like, my guy was out here searching for her when she got captured by a mummy. And then... dog, it was... It's criminal. I find that so criminal. Because, like, again, I know you couldn't get Bridget Mendler, but y'all could have just hired a different actor. A blonde actor. Because, like, what? Y'all could have still had the same show based on Justin, but, like, you know, like, it's criminal, bro. It's criminal. Because why? And then Alex, is it with Mason? Like, criminal. Absolutely criminal, bro. Like, oh! It kills me. But otherwise, the show was pretty good. Love that show. Zeke and Luther. I never really watched it, but it does have the guy from Lemonade Mouth. He was in this show, obviously, first before. But yeah. But there you go, y'all. The tier list on Disney shows. The live action and the animated ones. But yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed. Again, highly recommend y'all should watch these shows if y'all haven't, because they were fire. And then happy 20th anniversary to Hannah Montana. Hannah Montana was my show, bro. Like, I remember watching every episode without fail. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this tier list, and I will see you all in the next one.